Hey guys, Matt Waxler here, Wheels Through Time Museum. We're back on the drive for history. This summer, we're going to be bringing you guys all sorts of shows on the machines, the people, the places, and the bikes that make Wheels Through Time what it is. This week, we've been focusing on rare racing machines inside the WTT Racing Pavilion. Today, we're talking TT racing motorcycles. Right in front of us, 1946, 1951 Harley Davidson FLTT models. Now, TT racing in America started late 1920s, early 1930s, and TT racing is kind of loosely defined as racing on a track with left and right hand turns, elevation changes, maybe a jump, some improvement over nature. So dirt, pavement, combination. These two bikes are really kind of the last of an era, really, the last of the real big Harley Davidson TT style racing bikes. Now, 1946 Knucklehead over here, such an awesome machine. This bike was actually previously owned by, or formerly owned by, Roger Soderstrom. Roger Soderstrom was actually national TT champion 4 different times. Won the Peoria TT race in 1949, 50, and 52 and 53 with this motor. Now, the rest of the parts of the bike were not with it when we acquired the motor, so we ended up finishing the machine in kind of TT, flat track sort of racing trim. Now, keep in mind, guys, early racing and during this era, you're focusing on 45 cubic inch bikes is really where most of the attention was. The TT racing classes were up to 80 cubic inches, so big, huge motors, tons of power. The Knucklehead here, this one is 74 cubic inch and actually equipped with the front mount Wyco Racing magneto. You might be able to see way down there. And the bike's really set up for off-road and beating around. Reinforced handlebars, shortened fenders, 19-inch wheel in the front and an 18 in back. And one of the neat features of this bike is it actually has a very rare factory short TT racing oil tank. Now, shorter oil tank did allow less oil to be used on the machine. However, what it did allow was the transmission actually to be raised an inch and a half, which really protected the primary here. The primary on the Harley Knuckleheads is the low spot. They get beat up and banged up pretty often. By raising the transmission, you keep that primary way up off the ground for hard left-hand turns. So this machine we restored here at the museum last year and have run it occasionally. So today what we're going to do after kind of sharing the history of both of these machines, me and Chris are going to get out and fire these bikes up and maybe even do some hole shots. Now, the 1951 Harley Davidson FLTT. Now, what you see first and foremost here, panhead motor. The panhead motor started in 1948, 74 cubic inch power plant, racing job with the same front mount Wyco Racing magneto. So ultra rare to see a big twin Harley Davidson with this front mount magneto. So provides big spark, real hot spark, and that equipped with 74 cubic inch high compression engine, big old cam in here, big carburetor, and this thing's made to go. Some of the really neat features on this bike, of course, we've got hydraulic front end. Started in 1949. Harley came out with the hydraulic front end, really kind of changed the game, especially for off-road travel. Now, the oil tank here, and I know what you're thinking, that's not an oil tank, that's a gas tank. This is actually a very rare right side TT racing oil tank. Now, what you see here is the 61211-51R. The R at the end means racing part number. So anytime you see a part number with the R at the end, that's when you know it's from the Harley Davidson Racing Department. So 51R, right side oil tank. Gas tank here, TT race is relatively short. So half this side was filled with gas. The other side was actually larger capacity for the oil tank. So big reinforced racing handlebars here, really beefy. Some of the other neat pieces, check this front breakout. Cooling ring, you know, TT racing, left and right turns, elevation changes, they're on the front brake heavy. So this was equipped with a front brake cooling ring that goes over your brake drum, and then they've actually adapted a scoop here to cool the brake shoes. So really a pretty neat setup. This one is equipped with a 19-inch in the front and a 16-inch in the back, big knobby grasshopper racing tires. So this thing is really made for the dirt. Ton of fun to ride, and it's more power than you could ever handle. So Chris, what do you say we get these things fired up and do some hole shots?
Yeah,
man?
sounds good.
All right, good deal. what it is. If you're digging what you're seeing, make sure you get on to wheels2time.com and make